Welcome to the breakdown. I am DELACREMEDELA, and this is the Breakdown Show. Welcome to you. We are going to continue taking a look at these Village of Dalton regular board meetings. This one today is on January 2nd, 2023. So it was the first meeting of this quarter, and we're going to dig right in. Let me just go over a couple quick house rules. Number one, this is not a no judgment zone. While we do not judge and overly criticize things in our normal happy lives, here at the Breakdown Zone, here is a safe space for you to expand your mind, be a little bit more critical, be a little bit more judgmental, and say what you see. Okay, and see what you say as well. See what you see. Rule number two, this is not for kids. I curse like the rich auntie, so please believe I will. Plus, now that we're talking about Andrew Holmes and all the things, we definitely may get a little bit more adult and raunchy here. So this is not a no judgment zone. Number three, if you are not of African American or identify yourself as black, if you are not of those heritages, lineages, so we're not talking about Kamala Harris because she not black. We're not talking about Obama because he not black. We talking about us. If you if you don't know the rest of this, you make me happy. And I'm not talking about from Beyonce because shout outs to her. But if you don't know that song from before Beyonce, if you don't say, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Nah, for real. If you're not black, be respectful in the chat. Understand, that culturally there are ways that black people are allowed to speak and refer to each other that outside the culture would be considered disrespectful. So if you do want to get an invitation to the barbecue, show some respect at the door. Okay, those are the three house rules. We don't have a whole lot of time this particular meet and greet because I got things to do. I'm gonna bust out some of this meeting real quick and then I'll come back to you with the rest. We are currently sitting at 15 minutes and 38 seconds on this recording, which means if you see what I see, you see it says thank you for your patience. I stopped telling people thank you for your patience. I started being honest. I started saying, thank you for waiting for me. I really appreciate you. But it ain't no way I'm going to have nobody doing that for 15 minutes unless I'm trying to tell you something. 15 minutes and 38 seconds. Now, if you are exact, acute, keen, you will find it interesting as well that the meeting, it opens up exactly at 15 minutes and 55 seconds. And I'm not talking about the synchronicity of it all. I'm talking about the fact that that was planned. Whoever is operating the production side of this was made aware to start the video, so to speak, at 15 minutes and 55 seconds. That's not an accident because the mic is fuzzy and finally clears up when Tiffany speaks at exactly 17 minutes and 45 seconds. Those things aren't accidents. I plan a show. Y'all know my show starts with 5 minutes of you looking at the top of my head reading shit. And then we talk and chug a lug for about 10 minutes. And I'll say, ooh, we 1 minute ahead of schedule. So it's not by accident that these people are made to wait this long. So we got 15 minutes and 40 seconds. Let me just go forward a little bit. So it just came in at exactly 15 minutes and 55 seconds. That's not an accident. This whole wait is planned. All the delays are planned. The fact that people are rushing to get here and be here and ready at 6:30 and this meeting doesn't start until 6:55. And Tiffany Henyard lies and says 6:52 because she can't tell the truth. Oh my God, it hurts her belly. But them lies be hurting her throat. That's why her voice is always going out. I'll do a show with y'all for 5 or 6 hours and my voice will never go out because my voice chakra is strong. My throat chakra is strong. I'm telling the truth. Ain't no need to get tagged. I don't get tagged. Listen, and I don't have 6 jobs. So we see here it is 15 minutes and 58 seconds. The video just came in. There is fuzzy sound. until about 17 minutes and 45 seconds. So let me take you to that point. Actually, it's exactly 17 minutes and 45 seconds when the sound comes back in.
That's it. Good evening, everyone.
17 minutes and 45 seconds, the sound comes in. It starts to, the static starts to fade out, which means it wasn't a mechanical issue, okay? The static starts to fade out at 17:44 and it goes away at 17:45 when she talks. What the fuck was that for? Why, Tiffany? I don't expect you to answer me straight. Keith? Well, no. Janice? No, never mind. Let's go.
Thank you all for coming out this evening. Happy New Year to everybody. We're going to begin our board meeting. I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees. Today is January 2nd, 2024, and the time is 6:52 p.m.
Now, she says 6:52 p.m. She's looking at her Microsoft Surface, which I have one. I like to keep a little PC around because you never know. And the time on it is based by the internet. So why is she saying 6:52? When it's actually...
Clerk Key, Colorado.
It's 6:55 p.m. Correction, 6:55. Can you guys hear me? Is my mic on?
And I ain't trying to blow up nobody's spot. I just want y'all to pay attention to the thumbs up bubbles, okay? Because they be calling out some shit. And I don't want to blow up nobody's spot. But I just want y'all to pay attention to the thumbs up bubbles. Because they be calling out some shit. What's wrong with her? Ooh, that is a bad looking woman too. Ooh, Jesus. Let me go.
Can you hear me now? Okay, great. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Trustee Norwood.
Wait a minute. Don't the three of them look like different versions of the same big toe? That is an ugly crew.
It's 6:55 p.m. Correction, 6:55. Can you guys hear me? Is my mic on?
There is a little static. You hear it?
Can you hear me now? Okay, great. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Trustee Norwood. Trustee Stan Brown. Trustee Tammy Brown. Present. Trustee House.
Here.
Trustee Holmes.
Here.
Trustee Belcher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, next, if you will all stand for Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could, we're going to have Trustee Tammy Brown lead us in prayer.
Heavenly
Father, we thank you for this gathering tonight, and we hope that your work and your will be done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, so since we've been talking about this thing piece by piece, first of all, let me say this. Tiffany, if you don't say the motherfucking Pledge of Allegiance correctly, you are a registered Democrat and a government leader for the very short time being. You better count your lucky little ugly stars. But if I was sitting in that seat, and I can't help but compare you to me because we are so very different. If I was sitting in that seat, I would definitely enunciate the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, you telling little kids in the street they can be mayor too. Would you please say the Pledge of Allegiance and stop saying Pledge Allegiance? I pledge allegiance. I'm not going to say it because I don't do it. But if you would, give us something correct. And I do appreciate the neutrality, the simplicity, and the sweetness of Tammy Brown, Trustee Tammy Brown's prayer. I'm grateful to her for a short, quick, sweet, neutral prayer. William Moore. William Moore is not in the room, obviously. But if you watched this, please take note. This is how it should be done.
All right, next we have public comment, and then after public comment, we will do the swearing in of our police officers and also our engineer for the fire department. So you have 3 minutes to address the body. If you would like to speak or say anything, please come to the podium. You have 3 minutes.
Now, while they get ready to do public comment, of course, this should be citizens' address. For anyone who's not familiar with this information, I'm going to repeat it just to make sure we're all on the same page. Based on what former trustee and former Cook County Sheriff Valeria Stubbs said in the most recent special meeting held by the Dolton trustees, which doesn't need the mayor's presence to be legal. She mentioned, I believe it was, I forget what the ordinance was. It was 19 something. My apologies for not remembering. But she mentioned that what's on the books for Dolton, what's on the charter, is a part of the meeting called Citizens Address, where the citizens get 3 minutes to speak and address the body, and the body can respond, or should rather. It's designed for the body to respond. Well, when Tiffany Henyard became mayor and realized she wasn't as popular as she thought, because she realized very quickly, although she chooses to be ignorant outside, she knows people don't like her. She picked up on it. So even while they were still doing virtual meetings on Zoom, she shortened it to, number one, 30 minutes only for the whole entire session of this time. She changed the name, I believe without board approval, to public public comment versus citizen address. The functional difference is this. During citizen's address, there is a call and response. During public comment, there is none. During public comment, the citizens have 3 minutes to speak to a brick wall who may or may not even look them in the eye when they speak, and definitely won't respond. And we've seen in meetings where she's prohibited people from responding. I'm not that familiar with Robert's Rules of Orders to give this advice, but speculatively, kind of like a fly on the wall, can't nobody tell me not to speak if I want to respond to a citizen. If a citizen asks me a question directly about FOIAs or something like that, then I'm going to respond if that citizen is within their time. I mean, that's just me. But that's why I don't run for politics, because I'm not a politician. But let's listen to this, and then we're going to skip over the swearing in. The only thing I find interesting about the swearing in, and I'll say this before we begin watching this public comment, is Tiffany Henyard does not respect people's wives. If a man comes up and is sworn in with his wife, she don't look at the woman. She don't shake her hand. I've seen her literally turn her back on women during a swearing in. Now, mothers, she be cool with. Wives, not so much. This woman is nuts. But let's continue. And we notice there's still...
Here, none.
We notice there's still some static. Now, she said there was no public comment. Let's go back and listen to this again. I find it very strange because in the last meeting, she cut the public comment off early, and who I assume to be Trina Downs, based on the evidence, got up and spoke and said, I have a comment. So let me see what happened here.
Address the body. If you would like to speak or say anything, please come to the podium. You have 3 minutes. All right, here none. Next, we're going to start with the swear.
Excuse me. I'm going to play this swearing in fast or just speed through it. Don't you guys find it interesting that all of a sudden there's no public comment? When there was public comment, Now there's no public comment. Now, I remember when Ferdinand Laurent was murdered by the police in South Carolina in 2016. And my organizations, because there were many of us, none of us to be named, we went down there to stand up against the powers that be and let them know we knew what was popping and it wasn't going to be tolerated. People came from all over. That was actually the day I found out I was pregnant. And we found out while we were in South Carolina, I won't say the name of the city for their peace. We went to the police station. We surrounded the police station. The police turned the lights off. Punk ass niggas turned the lights off at the police station because they ain't want no smoke. Listen, the police came and looked out the blinds and turned the lights off on the whole building. But we started going around. It was late at night. You know, we went to the house where the young man was murdered. We saw the evidence that what the police had put in the news wasn't true. I'll lay all that out one day. But for this conversation, what's important is, number one, the police, the preachers were scared. They was trying to strategize with the police and stand up for the police. The other thing that's important to mention here is that the police, we found out, had gone around that day. The police in that town, it was a small town in South Carolina, where Ferdinand Laurent was shot and killed by the police on a no-knock warrant that didn't exist. The police had gone around that day and let people know they found out we were coming. And they told people not to come outside. Don't come outside. Don't participate. This ain't what you want. So I don't think it's not interesting, based on my empirical knowledge. I would say something interesting. She wasn't even shocked. You know, Tiffany Henyard is not that smart. She done muted mics and knew exactly who was muted without asking. You know, she ain't that intelligent. Jason House said they didn't get documents. She wasn't shocked and appalled. She wasn't shocked that there was, y'all ain't got no public comment tonight? Ain't nobody got nothing to say? Not even her people? She wasn't disappointed because she had lined up a DeMarcus or a 5-star or something like that to get paid and line them up to speak and they weren't there. I don't find that not interesting. That is very interesting.
Group, just so we clear for the residents so you understand. Make noise just for the deuce.
Excuse me, we just gonna fast forward through it. I didn't get time to stand up here, so forgive me.
So
here we go with Max again. I think they gonna
tension.
Come on, black people, settle down.
The right way by just showing you. Thank you. Okay, so I just want to start the new year off the right way by just showing you things that we truly do here in the village of Dalton. Despite all the mess or the negativity you might see or hear, it's a lot of great things that get overshadowed by people just being negative. My goal is to try to make sure that everyone is always loved on, cared about, and make sure they know that I appreciate them, because at the end of the day, you don't know when is when. You don't even know if you would have woke up this morning. So you should be thankful for just seeing another day. And I just want to tell the residents of Dalton that I truly appreciate you, and you see that ain't no stopping us now. We on the move. So we're going to continue to do that. You see the promotions we did within the police department, which is public safety, which we truly need here in the village, and also with our fire department. They've been waiting for a minute to do their promotions. So now everything is here, and you will see them on the streets, booted and rooted. I just want to say again, I appreciate you for those that do take up a field in public safety. Next on the agenda is general announcements. Do anyone have any general announcements?
Okay, before we go into general announcements, what was this on the agenda? What was this on the agenda? I literally just wrote that note. What is this on the agenda? I thought she was getting ready to go into mayor's report. You can't make a moment not about you, Tiffany Henyard. You can't have these officers and firefighters or whatever get their seats and their spots and allow them to bask in the glow of this swearing in ceremony. You got to find some way to make it about you. Well, then let's make it about you. Let's work on a couple words together. First of all, Tiffany, the way you may have talked in the streets, like saying stuff like a raper man van, when you step into a mayoral seat, if you're going to steal the money from the taxpayers, use it for some self-development. We've talked about getting, I can't even say words now. We've talked about getting diction training. We have talked about learning how to enunciate words properly. There's no reason why a mayor should be saying mass when she means to say mess. So I want you to take this home. I'll send it to you. I know you don't read your email and probably can't read net otherwise, but I'm going to send it to you. You might get it if I text it to you, even though you haven't called me back from when I called you like 2 weeks and a couple days ago. I'm not worried about that shit. Listen, I want us to practice a couple words. Let's start with the word mess. It's not mass. That is a very street slang, ratchet way to say the word mess. And you wouldn't even be saying that word inside of a professional meeting anyway. So let's get it out of your vocabulary. Because the word mess should not be coming up in a legal meeting unless we're talking about an ordinance to pass some type of law concerning debris. And that would be the more proper word. So we're going to skip over mass and mess for now. Let's go to one other word. I think it's very important. And I think it's going to help you a lot. And it's going to advance you a lot when you're in prison and you campaign for like prison trustee, to guard some of the snacks inside your cell. I think that it will be very important for you to figure out the difference between the word go and goal. Yeah, there's a difference, right? So instead of saying go, we have a goal, you would say, hey, y'all, let's go. Okay, yeah. So let's try this word one more time. And I want you to focus on the O sound at the end. You can do it. There's not much you can do, but you can do this. Okay, because you talked a good enough game to get some of these trustees to back you into becoming mayor, only to be disappointed within days, like a quick orgasm. Not mine, yours. Goal. Yeah, good job. See, I told you can do it. Now, what I do believe is that you're going to go home. You're going to want to go home. And you're going to practice, right? And go ahead and record yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. Watch your mouth as you say it. Same way you suck dick. That's the same way you say goal. There you go. All right. Now, I don't think it's a good idea for you to continue to keep telling these people they may not see tomorrow. Especially when you out here doing pop-pops in people's alleyways. Okay, you shouldn't keep telling your constituents they may not see tomorrow. Not only is that religious abuse, but it might be a confession. Okay? We, the people, are going to demand you to shut the fuck up until you can sing on key. And that's coming from my mama. That ain't even me. That's my mama. I'm sorry. Ola told me to tell you. It is annoying. It is not cute. I don't know what part of it you think it's cute. Just don't. When, what's his name? Scratch a coochie, smell your finger. Bill Clinton. When Bill Clinton was playing the saxophone, it sounded good. That's how he got us. See, the thing you got to understand, Tiffany Henyard, is black people have a high standard for entertainment. That's why Gary Owens don't really make it in the black community. We let him come in, make us chuckle a little bit, but he can't really make no money for real because you got to be good at what you do. We done sat in the back of churches and laughed at women singing their heart out to Jesus, but poorly. Okay? Black people have a very high standard for entertainment. So let me work on this one with you, okay? Ain't no stopping us now. Wait a minute, let me bring it down to you because you sing like a boy. So let me bring it down. Duh. This ain't your moment. Go ahead. Thank you, baby. She was ready. That's my boo. And she sing on key. Ready? And she only 6. So practice with me, Tiffany. We're going to do this one good time. And yeah, right there. You can sing right there. See, what you got to do is you got to find your register and stop trying to sing like somebody else. That was from Ola too. Ready? Ain't no stopping us now. That's it. Take it home and practice with it. Now, I don't know what you mean when you say the police are booted and rooted. Now, I know back in the day we used to say suited and booted when you was gonna step out this bitch. I mean, huh? I don't understand. But let's continue with general announcements, Lord.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening. I just want to announce Tea with the Trustees is back, up and running. The date for Tea with the Trustees is January the 13th, 9:30 a.m., 14700 Evers, and that's the Lester Long Fieldhouse, 9:30 a.m., Saturday. Thank you.
Great.
I would definitely recommend, I pull from the Tea with the Trustees videos from time to time and create content. I definitely stay on top of those Tea with the Trustees videos. There are some interesting ones. I think Tiffany Henyard actually showed up to one around Christmas time in 2022 or 2020. It must have been 2022. And them citizens gave it to her. And she tried to argue back with them. And one dude was like, hey, wait a minute. Listen, bitch, we're trying to tell you something. And she ended up sneaking out the back door. And then there's been another one where she actually sent confusion. I think it was the Tea with the Trustees that featured Dr. Nikki Nietzsche Cloud. Tiffany Henyard sent a plant. And they caught him at the door because Miss Mary had her security team at the door. Okay, and it is the Tea with the Trustees that has made Tiffany Henyard decide not to give George Woods his license, his Class 8, because he made breakfast, I think, for the trustees and the people one. So I would definitely stay on top of those. Those are a good time to find out the stories behind the stuff Tiffany talks about. Remember, I won't necessarily refer to her as mayor until she adds the word mayor to her On the Run podcast. Poorly done. Horrible podcast. Piece of shit. Smells like dookie. It's horrible. Won't waste your time with it anymore than this. But I would definitely recommend that you check out those Tea with the Trustees on the Village of Dalton channel. Absolutely. That's where you definitely get the tea.
Is there anyone else? Yeah, go ahead.
Happy New Year, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I would just like to announce that I'm still going to host the annual skating party, Family Skate Night. So that is a tentative date of February the 2nd. That's that Friday. It'll be from 6:30 to 9 o'clock p.m. So if you all, once I confirm the date, if you all are not following us on our Dalton Trustees YouTube page, please feel free to do so. Or feel free to email me at bnorwood@vodalton.org for more information. Thank you.
Let me bring attention to a comment. Thank you, Trustee Brittany Norwood, for your announcements. If you guys didn't see, Trustee Brittany Norwood was actually featured on the Village of Dalton page yesterday on YouTube. I shared the post and the link to the video in the community tab. It was a very great interview that she gave with her background and her involvement and just how she internalizes or deals with the stress and the anxiety that comes from being in such a hostile environment. I think she showed a lot of class and poise and education and excellence, and I was very, very proud of her. The chat was lit. Per usual. The chat was lit. It was really good. It was a really good experience. So if I were y'all, I would definitely go out and go back and check that out as well. When you go to the Village of Dalton page, I want to make note of a comment. It's close to the top. It's by someone named CD Away 24. The comment comes all the way to the right and ends with a smiley face, I think. A yellow smiley face. So I wanna point out this comment. It says these police gonna be her foot soldiers attacking locals if she goes down while y'all think it's funny. And that's what I hear when I hear her say booted and rooted. This was January 2024. These police gonna be her foot soldiers attacking locals if she goes down while y'all think it's funny. You think these police have orders for if she goes down? Or do you think like Nazi Germany, that's the end of it? Because when Hitler was done, I'm pretty sure I think that was the end of it. From then on, people was putting their hands up trying to make deals. But I'm going to read it one more time. These police going to be her foot soldiers attacking locals if she goes down while y'all think it's funny. I remember in about 2015 or 2016, I was at a city council vote where they gave the police officers $175,000 to get 150 bulletproof vests, steel-plated bulletproof vests that were going to be installed in the back of their vehicles. And I got up during citizens address. I was scheduled to speak anyway. And I asked, can I get one? No, for real, because it's more likely based on the fact that in 2015, every single person that was shot and killed by this police department was black. It's more likely that I'm going to need one. And if you notice, she has been equipping the police department. Lacey said dilapidated, or whatever he said, dilapidated. That's what he said. Dilapidated. It's always funny to me when people don't know to pronounce the D because they're trying to speak proper, so they just make everything sound proper. He said dilapidated. No, he said they had equipment that was dilapidated. Well, they didn't need it. There's only 45 of y'all. Y'all can share equipment and be just fine. But that comment speaks. That comment speaks. I'm going to read it one more time, and then we will continue. These police going to be her foot soldiers attacking locals if she goes down while y'all think it's funny. And they brought the police back out, the police dog back out at this meeting again. I think you saw me fast forward through that. They brought Max back out again.
Mayor, can I please?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to announce, the passing of Miss Cotton, who was the wife of Mr. Cotton, who passed away just a couple of weeks ago. Just got the announcement that Miss Cotton passed away, and so just got it right now that she passed away, and we will be updating everyone with the funeral arrangement, but no arrangements have been made so far. So just passed away, but she just came over that she passed away. Miss Cotton, the wife of Mr. Cotton, who worked for years and years for the Dalton Park District. Thank you for that.
All right, no problem. Anyone else?
Y'all know Tiffany Henyard can't stand the Dalton Park District. So I was interested to know. Shout outs to Mr. and Mrs. Cotton. I'm glad y'all got to reunite on the other side. Enjoy. That is so dope. But sometimes that's where you find your peace with people on the other side. So enjoy the rest of your lives together that way. Tiffany can't stand the Park District, so she don't really care that they died. She's just trying to see how it could benefit her. But I don't know if y'all were paying attention to the background. I'm not going to replay this, but if you want to, go ahead and go back about 20 seconds. Lacey must have got a hold of a bad batch of Coke because his nose is running big.
I'd like to speak on something.
Sure, go ahead.
Just to piggyback on that, Mr. Cotton, also residents in Village of Dogs. Boy, that's a loss. We just experienced a big loss. Ooh, man.
Wait a minute.
Thank you for that.
All right, no problem. Anyone else?
I'd like
Tammy, don't let Stan Brown grab you by the arm again. He's a vulture. Doesn't he look like one?
to speak on something.
Sure, go ahead.
Just to piggyback on that, Mr. Ms. Cotton, also, residents in the Village of Dollars. Boy, that's a loss.
Y'all, how many pair of glasses does Stan Brown? I'm sorry. I'm trying to do better with not breaking in and going ahead and doing the shit, the way you want me to, and I'm here for it. But y'all, I just noticed Stan Brown set down one pair of glasses and picked up another. And so I rewound it and made the comment about him grabbing Tammy by the arm, which you do not let nobody like this touch you. Okay? He looks like a fucking vulture. I go to the zoo every week. They got vultures right out in the front, and they got a sign that say, "We bite." Okay? Don't let that nigga touch you. But y'all, look at this shit. This nigga set down one pair of glasses and then picked up another one, and I still don't understand why, because I'm not sure he ever put the other pair on. Let's see.
Thank you for that.
All right, no problem. Anyone else?
I'd like to speak on something.
Sure, go ahead.
Just to piggyback on that, Mr. Ms. Cotton, also, residents in the Village of Dollars. Boy, that's a loss. We just experienced a big loss. Ooh, man. I'd just like to speak on...
He's so fake. Y'all didn't see that nigga sit one pair of glasses down and pick up another one? Is that some shit I need to get ready for? Is that what's gonna happen that ain't nobody told me about? Because I finally started wearing glasses, Jesus. I ain't ready to have two in one meeting. God damn. And his smile was so fake. Not even smile, his sympathy. I'm gonna tell you why Stan Brown is messy. He is a messy bitch. He is he's emphasizing this moment because he knows Tiffany Henyard can't stand the Dalton Park district. He is being messy. Stan Brown, grow the fuck up.
Also, residents in the Village of Dollars. Boy, that's a loss. We just experienced a big loss. Ooh, man. I'd just like to speak on, ladies and gentlemen, Township Talk, Supervisor Tiffany Henyard.
It ain't nothing about that man that's not right. I guarantee you, I'm going to keep that part to myself. It ain't nothing about that man right there ain't right. Ain't never been right and ain't going to be right. Okay?
Will be every fourth Wednesday of each month from 5 to 7 p.m. That will be held at Thorn Township in the lower level. Also, Thorn Township after school program Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Thorn Township Youth and Family Service Center located at 14400 Halsted in Riverdale. Also, there's a computer lab also.
I want to give a comment after he's finished, but I also want to make note, and I want you guys to pay attention just in case you're listening. If you can watch this, I want you to notice that Tiffany Henyard's picture is on every single one of these flyers, on the front and the back, her name and her picture. What the fuck for?
Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 at 14323 Halsted. Also, Thorn Township, if you need food, visit the food pantry located at 15340 Page Avenue in Harvey, Illinois. That's every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you need assistance, Thorn Township, from the supervisor and board of trustees, for general assistance for qualified applicants, basic needs, utility assistance, mortgage assistance, burial assistance, mental health assistance. Mental health is on the rise, ladies and gentlemen. Let's utilize these programs that the township is offering. Also, if you're a resident of Thorn Township throughout the 17 municipalities, there's senior service transportation anywhere in Thorn Township, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 708-596-6040, extension 4011. That's for transportation throughout Thorn Township. 708-596-6040, extension 4011. Transportation throughout the township. Also, there's a super duper class they have going on at Thornton Township. Tech Savvy for seniors. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. every fourth Thursday of each and every month at Thornton Township, 333 East 162nd Street. In the lower level, Tech Savvy for our seniors, whoever want to do the Facebook, text, email, and some other things that you can get to do on these little computer things that we have. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we just had an awesome, big bingo at Thornton Township. Actually, refrigerators, stoves, wash machines, and dryers were actually prizes being given out. Bingo is every third Thursday of each month from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Thornton Township, 333 East 162nd Street in the lower level. That's every third Thursday of every month at Thornton Township. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Anyone else?
May I be recognized, Mayor?
Go ahead.
Y'all, look at all that damn water Stan Brown got. And he done already drank one at 40 minutes in. Y'all saw all them drinks Keith Freeman had last month's meeting. Why? Because they are in survival mode when they go in those meetings, and nobody knows how long they're going to be there. So they bring enough gear to make it through what they expect might be the experience. Stan Brown was only ready for 3 hours, and he's already drank one of those up. Now there's still another almost 3 hours left in this meeting. 2 hours and 50 minutes. You think he gonna have enough water at the end? Because you know once you turn 35 or 40, you don't go nowhere where it ain't no water. It's one thing you gotta have at all times. You don't leave the house without no goddamn water. Something about turning 35, 40. Man, every year after that, you gotta have, listen, water is important. I don't know how they did it back in the day. But he know there is a possibility he could die of thirst during this meeting if he is not prepared. That is a fucking shame. Now, y'all, just in case you didn't hear Stan tell you, mental health is on the rise. And I would think that's a good thing, isn't it? People's mental health, the health of their mentality being on the rise, that's a good thing. Like, that means their health is getting better. Stan Brown, damn it. And I did notice, Stan Brown, you started dressing better too. I ain't gonna try to pick your pockets. I already know where you're getting that money from. I already know it's coming from somewhere between the trees and the doggone grass cuttings. But I like it. I see you done gone over to Chicago, over to Dress to Impress. I see you done made your way over to Oak Lawn and got you some threads. And let's talk about these bingo nights. These super duper big old bingo nights. And this nigga shit that's being given away. Refrigerators, stoves, cash prizes and everything. Baby, them events is under investigation. Because Tiffany Henyard been doing that shit for a long time. Giving people gas, having events, giving cash prizes. Oh, that's called campaigning. There's two different things that she's doing wrong here. Okay? One of them is on a very naked eye level, she's paying people for their votes. She's giving people prizes and some type of reward for being on her side politically. And most likely that's going to result in them going to the polls either for her or another candidate that's on her ticket. Number two, these things are being billed to the village of Dalton. But they are not for the village of Dalton. Or Thornton Township is paying for them. But that's not correct. Because these are Tiffany Henyard's personal events. So that's why they're currently under investigation. Thank you for that confession, Stan. The FBI appreciates you.
Yep. 333 East 162nd Street in the lower level. That's every third Thursday of every month at Thornton Township. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Anyone else?
May I be recognized, Mayor?
Go ahead.
Happy New Year to everyone. As the mayor said, you never know when you may wake up or someone in your family. Over the holiday, we lost a former trustee, Jefferson. So please keep his family in prayer. He was elected village trustee for 16 years. He was our finance committee chair. So just please keep his wife and family in prayer, because over the holiday, we did lose it. I hope that 2024 brings us happiness, communication, and a wealth of working together. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else?
Oh, I got some on that, Trustee Belcher. Thank you for saying you hope, because you already know hope is a rope and them niggas ain't gonna do right. I think it would be important, because Dalton has just experienced 3 murders of high-profile people who are all involved in the political arena in ways that could be opposed to the vision currently of Tiffany Henyard. We got both Cottons from the Park District who died weeks apart in the last month. We got Jefferson, who was the finance committee chair for 16 years in the village of Dalton. He was in Stan Brown's position for 16 years in the village of Dalton, and he done just up and died. What do you think he know as a finance chair? See, that's why I said, now y'all know I ain't watched this, because I don't watch it without you. I don't want to. It don't feel the same. I said at the top of the meeting, Tiffany Henyard needs to stop saying you never know when tomorrow is your day, especially when she around here popping in people's alleyways. And then you got the announcement of 3 high-profile Daltonites over the Christmas holidays, one of them weeks apart from the other. And all these people juxtapose her vision in one way or the other. I think it's a major investigation that needs to happen. There was a guy who owned a cotton candy little booth or whatever, up and died in Dalton. Come on, somebody.
All right. Next on the agenda is Mayor's report.
Oh, God.
So,
all right. So there was no citizens address. We zipped through the swearing in. It wasn't a whole lot on the general announcements. We are 44 minutes into the meeting. It is quite possible that the next 45 to 55 minutes could just be Tiffany Henyard speaking. Okay, let's go.
Last year was really epic. As always, we had a lot of different things going on in our community. So I'm going to highlight all the positivity that's been going on throughout Dalton that maybe you might see in passing, because sometimes people who have tunnel vision, they go to the store, home, and then to work, and they never go and see what's going on in their own backyard. So first, I'd like to start with my upcoming events. January 17th, we have conversation with the mayor. So if there's anything that you have questions about, concerns, anything you need me to address, that's the day that you should come, and you will see me here talking about anything that's going on in our community. Township Talk follows that from January 24th. If there's anything you want to know about the Resource Center at Thorn Township, which Trustee Stan Brown just read to you, a lot of people don't know that I do so much more than what you see in headlines. For instance, we do pay your bills. So if you're struggling, you need help with your light, your gas, your water. He even just stated burial assistance, because people are dying left to right. And what I mean by that is, you here today, gone today. It ain't here today, gone tomorrow. So majority of the time you guys come to me, it's too late. You guys wish you would have made it right with your loved ones, said you're sorry, or just made. All I'm saying to you is just start now. It shouldn't be that it turns to a new year for you to make something right. Just make it right because you find in your heart to do something better than what you used to do. January 25th, we have computers. If you're in township, not just about your family live all the time. And that number video, I did a recap and hourly repaid. So this is a recap. This is the Queen there for those that and veterans.
I mean, she don't get tired of seeing these same. This is the thing about narcissists. They are so insensitive to the room. They don't give a fuck that people are tired of watching these same damn videos over and over again. This storm was in September with her and Stan Brown pushing this car that looked like it was planted there. Okay? This storm was in. Now they can go around towing cars in front of people's houses, but they can't tow this car out. This was in September. This is January. This was Thanksgiving, November. This is January. This was December. What have you done in the last 28 days?
Tell you that you've been neglected for so many years that I need you to know what love feels like and look like, and that's what I oppose.
Is she telling the people of Dalton they've been neglected from love and she's the one to bring it? Don't that sound like a pimp? Donna Keys. Sorry, y'all. I got to get this screenshot. It's speaking to me. It's speaking to me. I was wondering when Keith is going to get tired of her shit. I'm like, when is he going to get tired of her shit?
I send love and show it. They flute say or think they're doing. It's Mayor of Dalton not going to have about it when I'm, but for years, so y'all really know that. Test, right? Seen the mix.
With the Illinois property tax.
I'm guessing this is a veto.
Stay neutral, because there's no.
This bitch just spoke for like 20 minutes straight.
Side. Your job is to do your job, not. So the things that I am vetoing is the approval of an estimated levy.
So let me just speak to that real quick. The approval of the estimated levy. There was most likely a special board meeting held by the Dalton trustees in which they voted to approve the estimated levy at $11 million or so. Keith has been wanting to make this levy $14 million, but it's not necessary. People aren't getting anything for that type of increase in their taxes. Okay? So, and the board has figured out by now that Tiffany is running off with the money. So they're not going to give her more money through the taxes of the people. So she's vetoing it. They'll come back and override it and do it the right way later.
And what else? Yeah. And I'm going to let the attorney explain a little more, but I just know that it was the estimated levy, and she said it's one other thing. So, of course, I just started.
How does Tiffany Henyard not know what she's vetoing? It's her veto. It's the mayor's veto. And why is she looking at her phone instead of the government paid for device right in front of her?
Say the Open Meetings Act violation. That's the other thing that you're in violation of. So I'm going to let the attorney speak to it so you can understand what's going on.
Yes, thank you very much, Mayor. On December 5th, the Board of Trustees held a special meeting at the Dalton Park District. And at that meeting, one of the agenda items was a motion to accept and approve the preliminary estimate of the 2023 property tax levy collected in accordance with the Truth in Taxation law in Illinois. My understanding, and the mayor's understanding, is that when the Board of Trustees did this, they also may have approved the actual levy. However, state law requires that there be a 20-day gap between the approval of the estimate and the approval of the actual levy, and there was no 20-day gap. So they couldn't have actually approved the levy on December 5th. So the mayor is vetoing both the estimate of the approval of the estimate of levy.
I'm fast forwarding this because I believe we've already talked about this, how there was supposed to be a vote and an approval of the levy 20 days apart. So that's why the veto took place. They did it right the second time and it went through. So I don't want to waste your time with that.
Session come back up.
I'm really trying
next we have Village.
I'm really trying to get through with her mayor's report, and it looks like we're done with her mayor's report. So in an hour and 10 minutes, they prayed, They had their general announcements, and she had her mayor's report. This woman's mayor's report started at 44 minutes and went to 1 hour and 10 minutes. That's ridiculous. A 25-minute mayor's report? It makes no sense because it doesn't take that long for anybody to give a report. Let's watch all the village department heads give their entire reports in 25 minutes.
Clerk's report. All right, no report. No, why not? Been off a long time. All right, next, village administrator.
Now, I want to just make a note of something. She just said the clerk didn't have a report. She said, what? No report? It's been an awful long time. She showed none of that shock or amazement about the citizens not having any comment. Did she?
Report.
Good evening, Mayor, and Happy New Year to everyone. I'd just like to start by saying I think that everyone did a great job last year, and I want to thank all of our staff in the mayor's office for making sure that we are able to do our job and have the proper tools and resources that we need to do it. I think you're doing an honorable job, and I think everyone up here appreciates everything that you do. So thank you for your time, thank you for your consideration, and thank you for supporting us. My report is brief today. I just want to make sure that, number one, everyone knows that snow is coming. So I'll leave Public Works to give you guys the details, but make sure that you pay attention to the snow routes. And also, if something happens or if you see something, say something. Roads can be slick. There are a ton of things that can happen when you have inclement weather. I just want everybody to be prepared so that they know, hey, listen, the winter's coming. It comes every year. Just make sure that we're prepared. And then we'll have some discussion later on from the engineer about upcoming streets and alley projects and some other things. So I want everybody to have a happy New Year, be safe, and make sure you pay attention as the inclement weather comes in. Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate you.
Next, we have engineer's report.
Thank you. These projects will be.
We're going to zip through the engineer's report, especially now that we know the main issue with the engineer is that they're getting paid about $30,000 a month, and they're not bringing anywhere close to that in to the village of Dalton in the form of grants that they should be seeking out and getting access to. And right now, it looks as though they are about to apply for a CBG grant that is a $400,000 grant, which is no money compared to what other local villages and municipalities are gaining from their engineers' grant work. And that's just crazy. So we're going to fast forward through him because he's not going to talk about nothing but what, the fire hydrant project.
Replacement project.
Exactly.
That's right behind those hydrants and valves.
For your support. And thank you for all.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully it will be a safe one because that's our direction. Moving forward, the Dalton Police Department responded to.
Now this is after Lacey has been sworn in as chief. He was deputy chief, and Tiffany Henyard has been using the credit card that was issued to him for her own purchases.
2,247 calls for service. We also wrote 634 parking citations within the village. State citations, we were 170. Red light violations were 4,418. Major crimes.
Hold on. He said the red light violations were 4,418 out of the 20,000 residents. So we're still at about 4 times 5 is 20. So 20% of the people of Dalton are getting tickets at the same red lights. And the town is only 5 square miles. Something ain't right.
Down in the village of Dalton. I would like to thank the public for heeding to not leaving their vehicle running because that was in fact a big factor. People want their vehicle to be warm when they get in it, but they leave their keys in it. So which means, guess what? Crime of opportunity, they take the car. So thank you for listening, Village of Dalton, to that message. Also, Mayor, I'd like to say which direction the police department is going in. We were currently on 12-hour shifts, which actually what that was doing was we've been on for like 2.5 years, maybe more. And it would actually burn the officer out, not to mention the fact it was costly. Starting this new year, which was Monday, we went back to 8.5 hour shifts, which gives the officer a break into resting and just recouping their body, because let's be realistic, it's hard out there as far as when they're jumping in and out of that car and the calls that they're responding to. So we went back to an 8.5-hour shift. We're also, with our traffic unit this year, we are going to be utilizing a grant, which is from IDOT. And what that grant is when the officer gets out there for 4 hours, a 4-hour grant, we are reimbursed. The village is reimbursed, so which means we recoup that money that whichever's spent when the officers are out there enforcing traffic. The other thing I'd like to say is, and Mayor, you touched on it as far as Whitworth, thank you, because guess what? We have had little to no accidents at that location since it's been made a one-way. So thank you. So moving forward, I just want to give kudos to Stu, Devontae Stewart, and Chief McCain, because we have become a dynamic team in getting things done. So I'd like to thank you guys for being there whenever I need you, and we're going to look forward to moving forward in this coming year. That ends my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I got a little bit for you, Lacey. Don't go away yet, potato head. Now, he said there were 4,418 red light violations just in December. We talked about month over month, and the month before there were 5,000. Now it's gone down by 1,000. But my question is, he was thanking the people for heeding his warning not to leave their keys in the car. Why isn't he giving people a warning to stop at red lights? Sheriff, guess what? As a member of the breakdown crew said, why aren't you telling people to stop at red lights? Obviously, 20% of the village of Dalton don't know how to stop at a red light. How many red lights can you have in 5 square miles? And these 8.5 shifts were definitely something that was being talked about by Collins when he was on his way out. I saw a fire and police meeting where he said the officers were overwhelmed. Now, while he came in front of y'all in a meeting and said everybody was great, she needed the extra security, behind closed doors, he was telling, well, not closed doors because it was a live filmed meeting. He was telling Holmes, and I believe it was Trustee Belcher in that meeting. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. But he was telling them that the officers were overworked. So those 8.5-hour shifts is a good thing. And then, Sheriff, guess what? Who is Devontae Stewart? And what charges will he be getting for all this? We're going to go a little bit longer, y'all. Probably about 10 more minutes, then we're going to wrap it up.
Next, we have Fire Chief McCain.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening to you. Chief Lacey, thank you for the nice words. It is a pleasure working with everyone in public safety, as well as all the department heads here and the administration, and I appreciate everybody. And Happy New Year's, and to the clerk's office, trustees, all the department heads, and to all the residents of Dalton, Happy New Year. 2023, the fire department had a total of 5,616 emergency responses. 1,890 of those were fire-related motor vehicle accidents, and 3,726 were emergency medical incidents. Again, for the grand total of 2023, 5,616 runs. Training objectives. The members of the Dalton Fire Department have conducted thousands of hours of training, totaling not only on-duty training, which they do daily, and outside classes. And those classes consisted of fire behavior, fire science classes, fire officer development, building construction, safety, water training, technical rescue training. We have 6 members that are part of a CART team, which is not only in our Mavis division, but they could be deployed throughout the state. So I'm very proud of that, where we have 6 members a part of that team. Hazardous materials, emergency medical training, as well as all the other incidents that anyone in this community, if they call 911, we're here to respond to, take care of you. You're our residents. And of course, to the firefighters going out in the community and performing pub ed. They're going to all the pub ed events at schools. They're reaching out to the community. And it's very important that they're touching the youth to keep the village safe from fire. So I'm very proud of those guys. And again, I thank you for the opportunity to serve the village. And that would complete my report.
Y'all, let me bring you to this comment real quick. It is from Tyler Reed. I wish I could make these bigger. It's right up under an orange B toward the bottom of the screen. It said that fire chief probably drive home to Orland Park at night and talk about how ignorant she is. He probably do. So I was wondering, why everybody got so much water. Everybody in there on survival mode. They don't know how long that fucking meeting gonna be. And the comments always lend to Pete McCain either being drunk or high. Ain't no telling, man. He obviously could fight, though.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Public Works, Stacey Corral.
Thank you, Mayor Henyard. Good evening, residents and board members.
Oh, my God.
Productivity
he
report.
Did not wear his... I'm sorry. I have fought to make sure I could wear my dreadlocks to work. I have been part of that fight that said, bitch, this is my resume. It comes with the hair. What you're not about to do is sit here and tell me I can't wear my natural hair to my job. But this shit right here, come on, Buster Bus. You got to have a line where you draw. I'm not talking about texture. I'm talking about style. Stacey Corral, that is not okay. Superintendent Corral, that is not okay. That is unprofessional. That is disrespectful. Okay? And it's about to be a Mary J. Blige.
For December 2023, Public Works repaired 6 B boxes, 8 water main breaks were repaired, 3 emergency water shutoffs, 5 sewers jetted, 2 street lights repaired, 3 trees trimmed, 5 restorations, and 16 blocks were pothole patched. As winter weather approaches, please be on the lookout for water pooling from the ground and or icy surfaces, which is a good indication of a water leak. If that is the case, please contact the Public Works Department at 708-201-3280. That is between the hours of 7 and 3:30, regular hours. And for after hours, you can contact dispatch if it's late at night. You can contact us at 708-201-3240. I would like to send a special heart-warmed thank you to the men and women of the Public Works Department who are constantly being called out to fight our water main repairs. I know sometimes they get a little hectic and people get tired of the pressure going up and down and things like that. But the men and women, they come out middle of the night, no matter the temperature or the weather, to make these repairs, which is also a very dangerous job. So I would like to send a special thank you to the men and women of the department who helps keep us with services. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Good, because I got some shit for you. First of all, I'm going to work my way backwards. Why is your tag inside your coat? Oh, that's my joint civilization alarm. Why is your tag inside your coat? Are y'all still out here doing that, keeping the tags inside your clothes? All right. Okay. And let me give you a little bit of a suggestion. When you smoke cheap weed and or street weed and or with no filter and or with tobacco leaves, you will get a mouth that looks like this. Stacey, have Tiffany use the taxpayers' money to send you to California so you can learn the ins and outs. Because that ain't how you do it. That ain't how you do it. Neither is that. And while you talking about what you fixed and what you repaired, did you replace that lady's light bulb at the end of her street yet? And how many keys did you sell? And how many dime bags did you upgrade? I'd like to know. Shit. It's a lot going on here, Jesus. I don't be putting this shit on camera. This is not a no judgment zone.
Pressure going up.
Listen, if I am not ready to be on camera, I don't come on camera. Okay.
Down and things like that. But the men and women, they come out middle of the night, no matter the temperature or the...
Oh,
Juanita.
Good evening, Mayor, board.
Oh, that's your name. Juanita. Little Juan. I got you, Juanita. I've been trying to figure out what your name was. What's your last name? Darden. Juanita Darden. Thank you, Water Director. Juanita Darden, who lays off in the cut and don't say nothing but look high as fuck. Let's go.
Staff and residents, I would like to start off by wishing everybody a happy and prosperous new year. Water Department has been continuing sending out water shutoff notice. Payment plans are still available with the first installment of 50% down. Please contact Thornton Township for assistance with your water bill. CETA is no longer helping with water bills. If you have any questions or concern about your water bill, please contact me, Juanita Darden, at 708-201-3273 or 708-201-2977. Also, the Water Department Payment Center is open on Mondays from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thank you, and that concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Next, we have Code Enforcement. Kim.
Miss Juanita, y'all only open to take payments on Monday from 9 to 7? Well, what's up with all them extra millions of dollars in the budget? Y'all can't hire nobody to work more days than that? Or am I misunderstanding? And the feds took a note of your number. They'll be giving you a phone call soon now that we know your last and first name. Miss Darden, you're not going to tell me you ain't been out there. Shout outs to you for the struggle, whatever. But Miss Darden, you know more than you seeing. It's a reason they don't let you speak if William Moore is there. What you know, Miss Darden, about what's going on in public works with them keys? And the money all over the place. The checks that disappear. Has she had you make any orders in your budget for her dumbass shit, Miss Darden? You can talk to me. I won't tell nobody.
I want to start with
Ooh, Kim was nervous. I think this was the first time she spoke in the meeting, wasn't it? Oh, Kim. Is she bald-headed?
housing report. For the month of December, we had 22 rental licensing totaling $4,400. We had 31 as-is sale inspections totaling $6,850. We had 42 escrow release checks deposited equaling $30,500. We had 64 housing tickets equaling $28,732.97, and 13 vacant property registration totaling $3,500. The total amount of revenue generated for the month of December is $87,632.97. And for building and permits, we had 66 building permits totaling $31,339.29. We had 12 contractors licensed totaling $3,850. We had 39 plumbing permits totaling $1,808, with a combined total for the departments of $126,138.41. And Code Enforcement Department issued 178 tickets totaling $32,375. And that ends my report, Mayor.
Right. Thank you so much.
So I'm going to say it again, and I've been saying this now for a little while. We ain't going to act like these people don't look like they ain't been out there. You going to tell me this woman ain't on Tiffany's drugs? Everybody on this panel is tweaking. Everybody on this panel right now is jonesing or tweaking. This woman has been in meeting after meeting, drunk and high. Oh, we're going to continue, because what I realize is while I have broken down the segments of February and March, I have not broken them down. I just made the video shorter so they were easier to digest. I haven't talked about what we see. And we're going to see Miss Kim get worse and worse. Drunk and high. slurring her speech. This dumb bitch gonna come out and say she don't even know what a trustee is or what a trustee does. But they need to get it together. Now, they took in $30,500 for escrow release checks. But they can't give that lady back her $500 for her escrow refund after she had the work done on the house that she said she was going to have. And then you talking about people saying they got all these arbitrary code enforcement violations and they don't have any certified or licensed code enforcers. So those tickets are null and void anyway. We looking at person after person after person on this panel who looks like a drug addict. From Louis Lacey to Pete McCain to Juanita Darden to Stacey Carell to Kim and Keith and Tanjnique and Tiffany. These are drug addicts right before us. Where the money goes?
We're going to go to closed session so we can get the paid attorney out.
Why in the heck do you think a guy is going to charge $450,000 to cut some damn trees?
And to go to closed.
Why in the heck do you think they have 10 different lawn care agencies? Raul, Santana's, Rodriguez, Gomez, all of them. And Keith Freeman over there buying NFTs.
Sasha.
Motion.
Stay second.
Second.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, just for the record, the reason for the closed session is discussion of litigation.
There's been motion and second. Please follow her.
Mayor, I'd like to move the executive session to the end of the meeting for the sake of the residents' time. It's getting darker early. I feel as if we should move the executive session to the end.
If we can get her off our payroll, because y'all did that last time, she had to sit through the entire meeting, but she's still on the clock.
Well, as Trustee Belcher mentioned last time, maybe it'll be more cost efficient if we ask that the attorneys come a little bit later, since we know that we probably won't start till 7, and then we're going to do this for an hour before we get to executive session. So that's already 8 o'clock. So
well, it's a motion.
See, you heard me say at the top of the meeting, and I'm watching this with you, fresh eyes. It's not by accident that this meeting didn't open up until 15 minutes and 55 seconds on the dot, and she didn't start speaking and the sound all of a sudden became clear at 17 minutes and 45 seconds. How do you start a meeting 20 minutes late and then say the attorney is being overpaid by having to wait, by doing things at the end? Why not tell the attorney to come at 8 o'clock like Trustee Kiana said? Because the meeting didn't start until 6:50 fucking 5. That was a whole 30 minutes. 25 minutes wasted. That could have been executive session right there. They could have adjourned and went straight to executive session. They did a whole swearing in. She had a whole 25-minute report.
The second on the floor to go to closed session. If you guys don't want to go, then that's the answer. So can you please call around?
Trustee Norwood?
No.
Trustee Stan Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Tammy Brown?
No.
Trustee House?
No.
Trustee Holmes?
Yes.
Trustee Belcher?
Yes.
Oh, wow. All right. Get the break the tie. All right. Let's go downstairs, closed session. Yes. I'll get the break tie. All right. So we will be back. We're going to go conclude a matter, and then we'll be right back up. It shouldn't take no more than 5 to 10 minutes. I wish we could do it up here in front of you, but we got to do a closed session, and we'll be right back upstairs. Thank you so much.
Why do you think that happened that way? Why do you think Trustee Kiana Belcher put it in a position knowingly where Tiffany Henyard would have to break the tie? I noticed that Trustee Belcher laughed before she's a very smart woman. Like, she's very calculated. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's not here on accident. I wonder why she laughed She's very aware of everything. She's never caught off guard. Like, she's always aware of what's happening in the moment. I wonder what made her say, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Instead of, well, first of all, she has her own vote. She doesn't have to go along with what other people say. But I wonder, because I think that was the day she noticed her picture was missing too. And when they went into closed session, she asked Tiffany Henyard about it, and Tiffany Henyard never gave her a straight up answer. And then she went back to Village Hall later and saw it on the floor. Somebody kicked something that was covering it, and it was placed on the floor against the wall. This was that same meeting. So I wonder what her strategy was. Trustee Belcher, I would love to know what, if there was a strategy, what your strategy was behind, like really what was behind your laugh. Like what made you take that pause and laugh before you said yes. Interesting. Well, I want to continue, but I'm going to break this video for now. Excuse me. They're about to go into executive session, probably to discuss some litigation, some settlement, some stuff like that. I'm very interested to see what happens after this, because I don't remember very well January. So anyway, for now, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. And Tiffany, just for you, ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. God damn. Use some of that taxpayer money to learn how to sing.